The Austrian darts open and it's Taylor time. Will the Powers return to the European Tour be a triumphant one? Well, the number one seed has just been knocked out. Kyle Anderson seeing off Michael van Gerwen with some incredible shooting on the bullseye. Paul, you watched that one. What do you make of Anderson's performance?
I think it was pretty darn good. I think when he had chances, he took them. And the thing that most impressed me was how he played in the last leg. You know, all those bull shots were fantastic and put him in the position. But the way he sprinted to the finish, got a double and hit it. Very impressed with that. He's not afraid to win. And when you start playing darts when you're younger, sometimes you are afraid to be good. But Kyle, right now, not afraid to be good.
Yep, Phil Taylor beating Steve West and Kim Huybrechts to get to this position. His opponent Stephen Bunting, who saw off the number 4 seed Dave Chisnell earlier today. So we've seen a shock in the last match. If Taylor's to join Anderson in the next round,
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Phil to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, he'll have to overcome the challenge of the bullet.
I think secretly Phil Taylor will be very pleased that Michael van Gerwen is no longer in the tournament.
Yeah, does that give him a boost now?
60.
I think it's just a case of, there's one person I don't have to worry about now. But the thing is, he's got to worry about Stephen Bunting. Stephen played brilliantly again today against Dave Chisnell. Very impressed with his performance. He's trying to rise his confidence after a sort of up and down year. You know, he's had a Players' Championship win this season. I think he's looking for consistency at this point of the season, going into future challenges. What's a bigger confidence boost than beating the 16-time world champ? He does know how to do it. He's done it on TV in a very close game at the European Championships.
Yeah, that's the only time he's got the better of Taylor, Stephen Bunting. On the 8 other occasions that they've met, Taylor's taken the victory. But yeah, 10-9 victory in the European Championship a couple of years ago now.
58.
Steady start from Phil. And that's where he wants his first start all night. Doesn't want to hit another one.
135.
135 will suffice, especially when Stevens 218 points behind.
Yeah, good setup shot from Taylor. Leaves 7
97.
to 12
Phil
darts.
requires 70.
It's always interesting to see which areas of the board are used for 70, because there's two choices, and this is one of them. And that's clean as you like.
On the first leg, Phil Taylor.
The other option would have been treble 10.
First. Game on.
Which, the way that Phil's darts land, I personally think that would suit him. Because if you hit a treble 10,
100.
you go straight to tops. If you hit a single 10 and hit a nice 20, that gives you a lovely, lovely guide for double top.
That's a great dart for Phil here to fill this treble up. Not going to happen.
140.
Yeah, Taylor often sort of swaps and changes which double he's on. Historically, double 16 has been his kind of favoured double to leave, but now and again he'll start trying to leave tops, and he does kind of change his mind how he feels, I suppose.
Yeah, he does, and I think that shows very big strength in mind, because I said a couple of years ago that when Phil was at his destructive best, and when he is at his destructive best, he's got two favourite doubles on the board. He can hit double 16 just as well as double top. And when you've got that kind of favour on the board, you're pretty dangerous. I mean, we talk about James Wade's affiliation with double 10. Well, he's not bad on tops either.
Taylor not bad on treble 20, as he's looking for a maximum.
140.
You were commentating earlier on the Anderson-Klassen match. What did you make of his going for the bull on 86?
Well,
96. Phil require 81.
Yeah, well, Kyle Anderson showed his proficiency on the bull today, but Jelle Klassen wants to leave double 18 as much as he can, as Taylor looks for double 12. and doesn't get it.
57.
Yeah, it's
Stephen, you require 120.
trying to leave his favourite double, but he can get in a mess that way. This is a more straightforward check out. 120, he's got the treble, then the single.
80.
Doesn't get the double and Taylor will
require
return.
24.
First two darts were absolutely plumb. Loves double 12 usually. Missed it for a 9-darter earlier today. But hasn't missed double
Shot in the
6.
second leg. Phil Taylor.
Early
Third
break
leg is Phil
for
to
Phil
throw
Taylor.
first.
Doesn't look like he's even
Game on.
out of second or third gear yet.
Yeah.
He did mention at the start of this game, Phil, to us, looks a little bit tired. Now, he hasn't played on the European Tour for quite some time. And from personal experience, playing these long
100.
weekends where there are big gaps in between games, it can wipe you out.
Well, if he is, it doesn't seem to be affecting his performance at this stage of the match. I know we're only 2 legs in.
66.
Yeah, Phil on about 107 at the moment. Stephen a little way behind. Sometimes when you're tired, you tend to forget about the things that stress you out, like
100.
aiming for trebles and what to leave and stuff like that. You generally go into autopilot. And whose autopilot's better than Phil Taylor's? There's not many in the world.
100.
Well, the one person that you might offer up as a candidate for that title is out of the tournament. Michael van Gerwen was just seen knocked out by Kyle Anderson. Actually, van Gerwen has not lost many matches on stage
100.
6 months into this year. He's only been beaten by Taylor, Lewis, Wade and Anderson.
I was wondering when you were going to get that in there.
45.
Yeah, Gary Anderson in Dubai, Kyle Anderson in Vienna.
At this point in time, I don't think Stephen Bunting has really turned up yet. He'd be disappointed with his display at this point. And the way that Phil has played this weekend, I think he's played really well. It's dangerous to give him such a great advantage. It's very hard to get back into the game after that.
104.
Again, he's got choices on 104, but I think he'll go for the 60. Stay there. It wasn't ideal,
88.
but it's a great setup all the same.
We know that Stephen Bunting's not going to take out 190, so Taylor will return for double 8. Might as well go for the... Well,
138. Phil requires 16.
he didn't, but maybe just the call of the 180 can sometimes put your opponent
Game
off.
shot on the third
Phil
leg.
Taylor,
Phil Taylor.
no problem on
Fourth
double
leg
8.
is Stephen to throw
Yeah,
first.
sometimes
Game
people do
on.
think that extra call, extra volume from the referee can just upset the rhythm of your opponent. And I'm a big advocate of that if the timing is right.
134.
And when you've not got a leg on the board, just something to get yourself going as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth there. I think that's a really good tactic. So far, there's only one
140.
winner so far in this game, and that's Phil Taylor. He's 3-0 up. Scoring very, very well. And again, it's one of those performances where you think, he's playing all right.
98.
He's on 104 average.
Yeah, it's been a strong showing from Taylor so far this weekend. Will he be lifting the title?
Well, if he did,
59.
what confidence will that give him going into the World Series in China, Japan and New Zealand? He didn't win in New Zealand last year. That title went to Adrian Lewis in one great game with Wim
39.
van Barneveld in Auckland. Has won in Japan, but nobody's won in China because that is the first time they are going there.
He's beaten Stephen Bunting in a World Series final, Phil Taylor. Sydney Darts Masters 2014.
I think even Stephen would admit that that night he didn't turn up at all.
100.
But Stephen was still a PDC rookie back then, you know. Went to Australia as the Lakeside champion. And playing Phil Taylor on that stage,
41.
after a very hard weekend in Australia, he just found it a bit too much that night.
How's this for an omen? Taylor also beat Bunting en route to victory at the German Masters in 2014.
145.
And that's the last European Tour event that he won.
Well, that might be an omen then. It's funny how these things happen sometimes. Taylor's very, very comfortable in this match. He's just got
100.
bundles of
Phil
chances
require
through
57.
very prolific scoring.
Yeah, walk in the park at the minute for Phil Taylor. This leg, Bunting's in closer contention, but it will not matter if the Power can pin double top, and he can. 4-0 to Taylor, and he's running away with this one.
First. Game on.
It's looking pretty academic at the minute. But there's one thing we know about darts: never ever take your eye off the screen. You never know what could happen next. It was a great camera angle to see how Phil stacks his darts on top of each other.
I was expecting a maximum of that first dart, I'll be honest. Bunting has to switch effectively, very effectively.
34.
When you tell people that there hasn't been a 9-darter on the European Tour for a good 3 years now.
96.
Also, that's a Phil in the practice room or in an interview, and he'll think, well, I want to be the one that breaks that mould.
It nearly was earlier today, but yeah, we've been waiting 3 years since Ross Smith hit one in Gibraltar.
140.
Plenty of near misses, but no one has struck perfection since then. Taylor can strike perfection in this visit. They can't anymore, but you just look to leave the finish.
140.
You can just tell that Phil's been putting the right hours in on the practice board, because when you've got that angle of him on the side and you've got the board on the left, you can just see the rhythm in its full
134. Phil require 125.
I've once described James Wade as being metronomic.
Look at this for a chance of a checkout. Bull,
It's
25.
open.
And one more bull. Oh,
100.
Squeezed in between the other two darts to the 25. Now Bunting's got a chance to get a leg on the board.
What route's he going to go? He's going to go bull. He's got a single 20, treble 19. Only going to leave tops.
53. Phil require 25.
Well, he had a 57 2-darter previously in this match. Is it going to... Oh, he's missed a single. So he's only got one dart for 5-0.
23. Stephen require 40.
Well, Taylor went for the wrong double there.
I was a bit confused as to what was going on, and so was Phil.
30.
What's going on with
Phil
Stephen
require
Bunting?
2.
Can't hit a double. Taylor has to go back now for double one.
And I think that previous situation where Phil's miscounted, I think that might have thrown Stephen a bit.
No score. Stephen, you require 10.
There are no words.
No idea what's going on here. But Bunting is going straight for the double 5. He used to be a fan of splitting.
No score. Phil, you require
And really,
2.
those darts were quite a way outside.
Someone's got a voodoo doll, I think, for this leg.
Will it be finished here?
Madhouse. Phil Taylor. We don't say that very often, but there it is.
On the fifth
Same
leg.
size as all
Phil
the rest of them.
Taylor. 6 leggy Stephen to throw first. Game on.
Just a lapse in concentration, do you think?
Well, you talked about tiredness earlier on. Possibly.
100.
However, if Phil Taylor is feeling slightly fatigued, this is the ideal situation. 5-0 up. Conserve a bit of
You're
energy.
right there. Give yourself some breathing space. I mean, it's been 6 hours
24.
or so since he was last on stage, and it's important what you do in that time to prime yourself for potentially 3 games on a Sunday night, which can take a lot of energy out of you.
140.
Some of the guys are advocates for going back to the hotel and having a little bit of sleep, reset, and basically do exactly what you did before you started in the last 16.
140.
Good scoring from Phil there.
Yeah, not a maximum in this match yet.
That won't bother him. I think he's at plenty in his life. Some other guys like to stay here, chill out in the practice room with their
140.
friends, the people that they travel with, and just take the pressure off their own way.
Is he constructing the first 180 of the match here? No.
140. Stephen require
And Bunting's got 6
121.
starts from 1-2-1 to get a leg on the board.
I think there might have been a dropped flight there, just upsetting Stephen's rhythm a bit. Doesn't have to go for it. Now he's got 98.
77.
That's all right. That was the right shot because the 60 was blocked. That way, when he comes back, he's got 2 clean targets.
93. Stephen, you require 44.
44 it is. Should be 12. 12 it is. Double 16 to get on the board. Double 16 it is. He's on the board.
Stephen
No
Bunting.
whitewash tonight.
Second leg is filled in first.
Few
Come
scrappy
on.
darts in the last couple of legs. But Taylor will want to seal this right now. Picture perfect. He couldn't put that dart in the 60 any better.
140.
What's Bunting got? We've told many a person, even when you're 5-0 down, 5-1 down, there's still a possibility of winning this match.
Yeah, we've certainly seen some fantastic comebacks.
100.
That's a very tall order for Stephen Bunting to reel off. Well, 5 straight legs now, 6 from 5-0 down. But darts like this would help.
135.
We've never really had a big comeback against Phil, have we, in the history of World Darts? I mean, I know Raymond van Barneveld lost a couple of sets at the start of their 2007 World Final. That would probably be the biggest one, from my memory.
140.
I think Michael van Gerwen has come from some positions where he's been a few legs behind in matches. Certainly a Players' Championship final a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he reeled off 7 legs in a row. I don't think anybody's ever done that against Phil.
81. Stephen, you
81 leaves top,
102.
but it will be for the match if Bunting cannot get rid of this 102.
That was a perfect layup from Phil. He's got a shot at tops. And he's got it.
Shot on the 7th
comeback's
flag.
on.
Stephen
For the
Bunting.
13th seed.
8th flag is Stephen to throw first.
That's a break.
Come on.
Just makes Phil think a bit. He's outside of the exclusion zone there thinking, come on, Stephen, just miss this top so I can go back to the practice room and get ready for the semis. Not yet. Not on my
83.
watch, says the bullet.
Yeah, Bunting staying alive in this one. Just needed 102 check out. There we see the averages. Taylor just under the 100 mark.
100.
Bunting just above the 90. 91.
Had many a debate with Phil about shoes with
44.
dart players and what they should be wearing. I think he was the one that started the conversation. People shouldn't be wearing these really smart leather-soled things.
Well, these are a perfect fit in the treble 20. First maximum of the match goes to Phil Taylor.
He's the advocate of comfort. And I think on these long days, I think he's right.
46.
The perfect fit.
And he's got 1 foot in the semi-finals.
Yeah, he's getting closer.
100.
Now he's got a 121 again. And based on where Stephen is in this leg, he'll definitely take another 81 to lay up that double top.
58. Phil require
Yeah, would have
121.
no need to go for the bull if that's what he's faced with.
That'll do.
89.
Goes for the bull in the end, but it's to leave 32.
Yeah, Kyle Anderson's favourite area. Looking like he might be up against him in the semis. Because when he comes back, it's double 16.
Phil require 32.
And he will progress. That is a perfect guide.
Game,
Just
shot,
like
and
that.
the match. Phil
Excellent performance
Taylor.
from Philip Taylor. And under par, perhaps, Stephen Bunting. Great sportsmanship from both players. Taylor progresses. Bunting, a great weekend, but he goes home.
Taylor will play Kyle Anderson in the semi-final. Next up, we've got Peter Wright against Terry Jenkins. The winner of that one will face our final quarter-final winner, Nigel Hayden or Michael Smith. Let's hear from Phil Taylor as he powers through to the last 4.
Persönlicher Rekord gegen Phil Taylor ist nun